Being in partnership with somebody else to run your business can be a very powerful and effective way to run and grow your business. In this video though, I'm going to share 5 tips of how you can have a successful business partnership and one that doesn't end in heartache for all parties concerned. Hi folks, my name is Mahmood and welcome to another weekly episode on my I Hate Numbers channel. This is the channel that aims to improve your financial awareness, improve your money mindset, improve that battle that goes on between your ears, help you make more profit, save tax and time. It's a fantastic combination. Let's crack on with the video. Now the 5 tips, number 1 is values. It doesn't mean you and your partners have to have the same liking of films, comedy, whatever, but you've got to share the same values in your business, the same objectives, the same goals, the same route that you all want to pursue. You've got to have the same business integrity, the same business ethics, and make sure those values coalesce. If there's a disconnect between those two, then that can be very counterproductive to your business path going forward. Imagine that house share where you share a house with other people. Get these things established at the outset if you're going to avoid heartache going forward. Tip number 2, thinking about track records. Now, it doesn't mean that your business partner has to necessarily have run a successful business, but your business partner and you must have, ideally, shared experiences. Have they a business track record behind them? Doesn't matter if that business has been successful, but do they understand what it's like to run a business? Running a business in terms of mindset and approaches is not the same as being employed. So are there shared experiences? Is there a track record behind them? And effectively, don't just take it on trust. You need to have some way to verify and establish that. Number 3 is to clarify what each party is actually going to be doing. Typically, partnerships that work very successfully, it may be one partner may have a very good understanding of processes, administration and finance. The other party may be a very good salesman, very good at marketing. But typically, there's going to be a coalescence of those skills. You need to define what those responsibilities are. I would recommend normally, by the way, that each of you, when you're sitting down discussing the partnership, is define and document and outline what your job responsibilities actually are. That avoids confusion, that avoids overlap, and it avoids resentment building up. Number 4, be honest. Be honest and open with each other. And communication is a real powerful thing to make that partnership more effective and avoid heartache. So just like in any partnership, whether that's a domestic one, whether that's a social one, in business, as importantly, you've got to be able to talk to each other, you've got to be able to communicate effectively. And I would certainly suggest that once you go into partnership with somebody, whether you're close friends, whether you've known each other for years, leave that behind. And you've got to be able to discuss robustly. You've got to be able to discuss things that may not necessarily sit readily with you or your partner. And if you don't communicate, if you bottle those up, that will just fester and it will explode. So whether you have that as a formal catch up once a week, an agenda, treat the business as your entity that engages you and employs you, but you've got to be able to communicate honestly. You've got to be able to share what you're thinking. If you let it bottle up, it will be counterproductive and it will ruin that business relationship, which is what we don't want. So if there are issues that are coming up, there are things that are concerning you, you need to be able to discuss those robustly, openly, do it in kindness. You're not seeking a battle, but if you can't communicate with your business partner, then that's going to be counterproductive. There might be things that you're doing that they're not too happy with. There may be things that you're doing that you need to relay about to your partner. So remember what we said at the beginning about values and ethics and integrity is as important in terms of that honesty with each other. Lastly, document. Now, many business partners that I've met over the years, when it comes to saying, we've got to put this in writing, they're very reluctant to do that, and that would give me warning signals. Remember, this is not a personal situation, personalising here. You've got to put things in writing. Who does what? How much money each party is putting into the business. What do you do if there's a deadlock? If you don't actually agree with each other, what do you do to resolve that deadlock? Typically that's going to be more often with partnerships that are split equal. Make sure that in there you've got an exit strategy as well as maybe letting new people in there. But if you don't have a partnership agreement, then that's going to be quite counterproductive and it's going to be quite messy. Imagine a situation where your business is successful, money's coming into the bank account. What would you do in that situation? So think about profit splits, who does what, who takes out what. So folks, I hope you found those 5 tips useful. So let's summarise what they are. Make sure you come into the partnership with shared values, goals, objectives and a mission. If you don't know what those are, you need to get those sorted out from day one. Number 2, ideally, you come to the business with a track record. So there's your partner, have that track record. How do you know? How can you verify it? Just don't take things on face value. Number 3, we've got to have a clarity of who does what in the partnership business. So if you are going to be doing different roles and coming together into certain things, make sure you know what those are. Clearly define them. Be honest, be open in your communication with each other. If not, and you keep things bottled up, it's going to be really messy. And lastly, document that, get a partnership agreement put together. Folks, I hope you found this really useful. I'd love any feedback and comments that you want to share back with me. If you know people in your network who would get some benefit from that, who am I to say? I'd love it if you could share that with them. Subscribe. That helps me reach a wider audience. Subscribe and get weekly updates coming in to your inbox. For now, have a fantastic week and I'll see you guys next week.